Zambia is nearly completely reliant on hydropower. 96% of its energy is fueled by the Zambezi River, but climate change is affecting capacity and long power cuts are now a daily occurrence. One solution? Coal. Ashwin, Devineni and PJV Sarma join me now. Ashwin, let's start with the Maamba Collieries project. 300 megawatts of extra power about to be going into the country. This must be extremely important for Zambia's businesses.
What Maamba Collieries entails is a large coal mine spanning across 79 square kilometers, and more importantly, 300 megawatt coal-fired power plant, which is almost ready, should be commissioned in June, July 2016, with the potential of expanding the capacity to about 600 to 900 megawatts. Maamba Collieries is 65% owned by Navbharat Singapore and 35% owned by the government investment holding company. What Maamba brings to the table is good, reliable baseload power. And the government is extremely eager for us to come online so that we can fight the current load shedding crisis and also help a lot of the copper industries and other industries which Zambia is heavily dependent on to actually start producing at the levels that they were producing when power was available throughout the day.
So how has the government been supporting the project?
The government has been extremely supportive. Firstly, because they do own a significant stake, which is 35% stake in the company. And more importantly, today, Zambia is heavily dependent on hydroelectric power, almost upwards of 95%. And they are facing the brunt of going all hydro because the last few years they've had bad rains. And as we speak, they're facing about 10 to 11 hours of load shedding on a daily basis.
PJV, talk me through the finances. What's Navbharat's involvement?
As you know, this Navbharat Singapore is a 100% subsidiary of Navbharat Ventures. That is the principal holding company, which is a very strong financially and technically. There's a strength of the project lies partly behind the strength of the financial and the technical strength of the Navbharat group. That has been one of the main reasons why the Chinese banks, which are predominantly Chinese banks and the Sinosure, put their strength behind the project to go ahead with that. That is actually the uniqueness of this project now, the strength of the sponsors. About 70% of the total cost of the project, coming to almost $600 million, is funded by a group of international banks. Half of it's coming from China, two big banks, and there are 3 developmental financial institutions and 2 European and South African banks. So that is why this is unique in the sense that this is the first IPP project coming in sub-Saharan Africa, which is getting finance from international banks, especially from Chinese, on a purely project finance basis, which is a non-recourse finance basis without recourse to the sponsor, which is very, very unique.
As you say, a real unique international collaboration, a milestone for project finance in the region. Do you think that now that you've established the model, it can be replicated in Zambia or across the region?
It can be replicated, but as I told you, there are certain things where we need to really take care of that. One of the reasons why this project could be financed on a purely project finance basis is the strength of the sponsors, financial, technical, and the robustness of the project documents. The project documents have to be very, very strong with pakka legal arrangements, etc. I need to have it. Once you have it, I don't see any reason why it can't be replicated in other parts of Africa.
So what happens next for the Maamba Collieries project and for your other work across Africa and the region?
We're really excited. We are about to commission the plant in June, July, which is a month from now. And we're also excited about expanding the existing capacity of 300 megawatts to possibly 600 and 900 megawatts because we see a huge power crisis in the Southern African region and also the Eastern African region. And the uniqueness of setting up a power plant in Zambia is although you're generating power in Zambia, the power can be exported and utilized by all the neighboring countries aside from Zambia. We look at Africa as a continent that's developing at a very, very rapid pace, and we want to play a major role in improving its infrastructure. And therefore, I think for us, we do plan on expanding in the power sector and the agricultural sector, where we have significant experience in India, in different parts of Africa.
Ashwin, PJV, thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thanks for watching. You can find out more about the Maamba Collieries project at worldfinance.com, and please subscribe for more stories about landmark project finance deals as well as all the latest insights from World Finance.